Now it's time for your melanin moment.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. It is time for a melanin moment. I'm on my way to work. Hope you guys had an amazing week so far. We are near the weekend. Whether you're working or chilling this weekend, be grateful because God has been doing it. You have to do it, but I'm so glad that He did. I want to bring you guys this quick melanin moment. Facebook has a way of reminding you of stuff that you actually forgot about, but then you remember once you see it. And so I was reminded by Facebook of when my son used to jump around worse than James Brown to the little catchphrase, ain't nobody got time for that. You know, the little catchphrase that Sweet Brown had that we put into a song. Caden used to jump around like he knew her personally, screaming and hollering, he ain't got time for that. Now, Sweet Brown made the news because her building caught on fire and she got bronchitis and she ran for her life. Now, I still don't know what Kaden didn't have time for, but she didn't have time to die that day. So she, in turn, got on the news, was her original self, said, I ain't got time for that, made a national hit. We made it a song, and my son fell in love with it. So that reminded me of a conversation that I had at work. Talking with a young lady, and she was telling me how she loves to go to church because people talk to me because they have questions about church, and because they know I go to church and I sing on the praise team, they have questions about different things. And you know, it starts good dialect because I don't want nobody to think that all church people are those church people. And so she said, Dre, I like going to church, but I don't understand why it's so long. Like, why the choir gotta sing 17 songs? Why the pastor gotta stay up there for 3 hours? Why we gotta take up all them collections? Why is it so many announcements? Anybody got time for that? I really do have stuff to do on Sunday. I don't want to be in church all day. So as she began to talk to me about her little situation with church, God began to speak to me as she was talking and remind her that we need to have time for that. Because God got time to wake us up, clothe us in our right minds, allow us to have activity of our limbs. We want to give Him 10 minutes, but we want blessings for a lifetime. You need to have time for God. Now, I'm not saying church needs to be 33 hours. But I am saying that we should take the same amount of time and give God praise and thanks for the things that He has done. The same way you go and sit at a job for 8 hours. The same way that you go to the mall and you spend all the time in the mall window shopping. Sometimes you buy stuff, sometimes you don't. The same way we went to the club and shut that joint down. They had to turn the lights on, last call for alcohol. The same way in the time that we give the worldly things, we need to give God even more time than that, because see, we give into the world when we do those things. You giving the job your time. Yes, they paying you, but sometimes we think of it as we underpaid, but you still go to work. You giving that mall, that store your time, because they ain't calling you on the phone saying come shop. You get in your own vehicle and you go to that store. You give that store your money and your time. You give that club your time. You go in there, you buy up the alcohol. Also, you can hear some music you can actually listen to in your car. Now, if we really think about it, what is the world giving us? And we give the world so much, but we will not give God the time that He is due. And I mean, you really can't give God the time that He's due, but you cannot and should not complain when all you have to do is give God thanks. And some of us don't even go to church except on Sunday. I know it. But you only going to church one day out of the whole week. But you're going to work for 5, sometimes 6, and some of us even 7. So I don't want to hear nothing about ain't nobody got time for that. Because honey, if God said that, it would be a lot of us in trouble. A lot of us in trouble. And I tell you one more thing. You better try to give God the time that He is due now. Because when that trumpet sound, going to hell, should nobody have time for that. So think about that thing the next time you say, I ain't got time to be in church all day. I ain't got time to be in church all day. I understand and I get it. I was there once, honey, when they got up and the pastor said, I got one more point, turn to 33 more points. I'm like, sir, how much wind do you have left in your body? But honey, now I understand that there is a word for me. If God guided me to that church on that day, there is a word that I needed to hear. And that's something that I should have time for. So that's all I got for y'all today. I pray that blesses your soul. Even if it don't, share the video with somebody who is always complaining about being in church and how long it is when you give in the world all the time in the world. But that's all I got. Like I said, hope and pray that you have a blessed Thursday leading into the weekend. Do what's necessary. Keep yourself safe out here in these COVID-filled streets. Wear your mask. Put them babies on a mask. Stop being selfish. Put them babies on a mask. It ain't 50 cents. Pray for everybody in your family. Pray for me as I'm praying for y'all. And I will see you soon for another Melanin Moment.